Hi, this is Mike Kelly,
And I'm Allison Norman.
and we are the Kelly Norman team with Keller Williams. We're going to be doing a buyer's update right now. The buyer strategies are somewhat can be confusing in today's marketplace, but there's always some key things that you should do with every transaction. And Allison, who is our great buyer's agent and my associate who works a lot with buyers, and especially a lot with the buyers that we get from our REO properties, because we have a lot of listings right now.
Right.
Bank-owned property. REO stands for real estate owned, for you folks who don't know bank jargon. But now, Allie, you always tell me there's 5 things you really look forward to when you meet with a first-time home buyer.
Right.
Right, and you got to have that initial consultation with the first-time home buyer. You just don't get them in your car and start showing them property.
Oh, no.
Not at all. And one of the things we always like to do when we sit down with folks is that we explain to them the process of buying a home.
Right. Yeah. And I usually first thing that I would recommend to a buyer is to talk to a lender. Otherwise, you may qualify for more of a home than you think, or you may not qualify at all. You know, and so it helps. It doesn't make sense to get in a car and start
Sometimes
looking at
your
property.
eyes are bigger than your wallet or something
Right,
of that
exactly.
nature.
Or I've had cases where they go, oh, I didn't realize I could be looking at houses in that price point. So it's a huge step, and it's especially in this market, you can't put an offer in without having a pre-approval from a lender. You used to have, what's the default on the contract is 5 days. You used to have time to put an offer in, get your offer accepted, and then get your loan locked in. You just can't do that anymore.
No, can't do it. But you're not just any lender, okay? You should talk to Allison and I, because we have certain lenders that we work with over the years.
Right.
Pete Philippi, Jamie Lasamonte, okay, Steve Paratori. There's a bunch of great realtors out there realtor lenders that are out there that really get the job done for you and go above and beyond those folks out there. So talk to us, hopefully, before you speak to a lender. We've had some horror stories where we've had lenders out of the area who didn't know our market here, and we found out we're just very incompetent and not that much fun to work with. So it really adds to the stress of a transaction, which is a little stressful as it is, right?
Right.
Yes, okay, of course it is. Okay. And the second thing they need to do, when they get pre-approved.
They get pre-approved.
They need
need to find a good realtor.
Yeah, and who would they look at? Okay, cool. All right, so we're the folks you want to talk to. Allison is our buyer's agent. Okay, she gets out, she works, she loves working with buyers. It's the mother in her. Okay, and I work with a lot of buyers also, but Allison is really the buyer's specialist. All right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so they meet with their lender. They find out what price point they're in.
Right.
Okay. Now, what if I'm buying a house under $300,000? Is that different than buying a house, say, 5 to 8?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what would be the difference?
Well,
he asked.
I would say the biggest difference is you're going to see a lot more distressed property
under
in the under 300. You're going to see more REOs, more short sales, and there are some normal sales coming on the market that are some are priced right, some are not priced right, and they're not priced too high because they really should be a short sale.
Right.
So
that's never a reason. And how many times have we've talked to a realtor where they say, "Where'd you get that price? That's so high." Well, if I
go lower than that, it's going to be a short sale.
Which has nothing to do with where you should price a home. Okay, you price a home because the market dictates.
What the market will bear.
And the buyers do also.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So they working with an REO is different than saying working with a short sale.
Yeah.
If you're a buyer.
Oh, very much.
Okay, what's the difference?
Right. Well, as far as putting an offer in, or the process of closing the deal.
Well, we know the difference. Okay, if you do a short sale, you may be in escrow for
a very long time.
A very long time. We had one guy who was in escrow for a really nice kid. 6 months?
Yeah, at least. I think it may have been 7
And
months.
that transaction did not go through, but it worked out. He got a better house.
He actually had the nerve to go into another short sale. I was very proud of him. And it closed.
So let's talk about that. Okay, the short sales are different because we had a Wells Fargo, which was a lot like the Wachovia model.
Right.
And those two are kind of like the gold standard for short sales,
right.
Especially the Wachovia. They come out within 10 days, they'll tell you if it's going to go through. B of A, Bank One, some of these other guys.
Tough to work with.
You're going to be there for the long haul.
So as a buyer's agent, it's really important that your realtor does understand the short sale process. Because...
And now let me ask you something. If I am somebody transferring to the West Coast, I'm going to be out here in a hurry, should I be looking at a short sale?
No.
Okay. Maybe Wachovia short sale.
Right. Well, see, that's why it's important to have that communication between realtors.
Right.
When I have a prospective buyer or property, first thing I'm doing is I'm on the phone calling the other agent. You know, who's the bank? How many loans are there?
Right.
Who's the seller?
Have they submitted a package yet?
Right,
Are they in the
right. So
process?
there's important things that you need to know, and so you need to, if you're interviewing a realtor, make sure that they understand the process.
Exactly. Now at REO though, okay, with our REOs, we get responses pretty quick, don't we?
We do, yeah. The banks that we work with are very responsive. And in REO, a lot of people are intimidated by REOs, but they really are. The only difference is, you know, from a normal sale is that you're not going to get the standard disclosures that you would get from somebody that's actually lived in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as that, they're very easy to work with.
And we just got a transaction with a young guy who's buying a home. He got back closing costs. They bought him a new stove.
Yeah. So you go into these as is. You're signing an as is addendum, and you can still go back and ask for things. And they've been pretty good about it.
People think the banks are real tough, but actually sometimes you get a great asset manager who really has a win-win philosophy and then goes through it. Remember, REO stands for real estate owned, right?
Right.
That type of thing. Now, the last thing we want to say is that you're doing your due diligence. We usually have about 10 to 14 days, and you get your, home inspection report you use?
You're going to, pest report, home inspection. These are not required, but they are very
Well, with us, they are
highly
required.
recommended.
With us, they are required. We will not let you buy a house without them, okay? Or you will sign a waiver saying that you've been told by Mike and Allison.
Right, well, the contract, the buyer's advisory that we tell you about 5 or 6 times. Please get.
So please get those reports. And we use Larry Shork as a pest guy because Larry's great. He does not bid the work. He's not looking for a job.
Right.
Tim Cookson is a great guy at Win Home Inspections.
Right.
We've used them both for years and years and years.
They work very good.
Great, very ethical guys. And then the last thing would be what? Don't buy that Ferrari before you close the escrow.
Don't go buy all the furniture for your house before you close escrow, you know, and you,
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't buy the appliances.
Because why? Because the underwriter will, at the bank, will pull your credit as a final step. They'll re-pull your credit.
Yep.
Right before they sign off on that loan and sell you that house.
You got it. Okay, good. All right, so that's our 5 tips for you, the buyers. You want to get a hold of Allison, you can reach Allison at 800-959-7244. That's national, 800-959-7244. Locally, 707.
799-3617.
707-799-3617. Or you can always go nodumbquestion@gmail.com. nodumbquestion@gmail.com. And Allie will get right to that and respond to your question. Thanks. This has been Mike Kelly.
And Allison Norman.
And don't forget to listen to us on the
Real Estate Hour, KSRO 1350.
Sundays
9 to 10. And it's streaming live, www.ksro.com.
and that's Pacific Standard Time. Thanks.